Hey, what's going on, people? Glendon Cameron with How to Make a Living Without a Job. This is something that came up about 2 months ago, and I had this discussion of how to follow your dreams. It was just like, how do you follow your dreams? And I just quoted the Nike logo, the Nike brand, the Nike saying, just do it. And he looked at me and it's like, well, I'm married, wife, kids, dog, mortgage. And he just really looked beaten down. I mean, seriously, just life was just every morning he wakes up, he's getting punched in the face. And I sat there and I thought about it, and I really thought about it because I have the bad tendency to look at things from a myopic view because I have a problem with tunnel vision, which has helped me become successful because I see something, I lock in and I just go for it. And I forget that everyone is wired differently, totally differently. So I started thinking about, how do you chase your dreams? Because once again, through introspection, I'm not as risk adverse as most people. I'll just do some stuff. And if it doesn't work out, I'm not fatally wounded emotionally. I've had a lot of failure in my life, a lot of stuff that went sideways, that went wrong, that went crazy. It's funny now, but when it was happening, it wasn't so funny. And I realized from talking to people that a lot of folks don't have that mindset because we live in a culture that is weird. On one side, we love the underdog, but if you're in certain parts of the country, like I'm in Georgia, if you have a track record where you failed, you might find it tough sledding here. If you're in Silicon Valley and you ran a company and failed, that could get you a job because they understand the things didn't turn out the way that you wanted, but the experience that you gained was phenomenal. It was massive. What you go through building a company is unlike anything else that you will go through in life. Whether it's a small company, a mid-sized company, or a huge company. And if you are building a huge company and say you scale up from nothing to 2 or 3 million in a year, or from nothing up to 10 million in 2 years, what you go through will be insane because your growth is white hot. You're hiring people every time you turn around. You're walking down the hallways and you're like, you see this guy that you employ and you sign his paycheck and you don't know who he is. So there's a lot that comes with that. But how do you chase your dreams? And I thought about it for 2 months. That's one of the things. I'm becoming more contemplative. I'm sitting back, thinking about stuff. And I look at it like this. The first thing that you have to do when chasing your dreams is get real with yourself. First thing you have to do. Because everyone says, I have a dream. I have a passion. I want to do this. I want to do this. Versus, I am going to do this. The nuance is the difference between 95% of the people in the world and that other 5%. The language that you use to speak to yourself is very, very important. You have to stop saying, I'm going to, and start saying, I am going to, I have done. You have to stop saying, I want to, and say, I am going to, and then be real about it. You have to get real with yourself because there are many of you out there who are saying, I have a dream, and it's just a whim. There's no action. There's no plan. There's nothing behind it. It's just like, and some of you have had this whim in your mind for years. I mean, years, decades. Want to write a book. Want to take a trip around the world. And what's happened in today's world is you have a lot of smart people that have figured out how to do things that normally took a lifetime to do, like working really hard for 40 years, then retiring and having enough money to live, and then take that trip around the world. I went to most of the places that was on my dream map before the age of 21. I was like, how can I get there? I'll join the army, join the military. And a lot of people are like, I'm not going to do that. That's your choice. And you missed the point because when you mention certain things like army or something like this, and people are like, oh, I'm not doing that. You miss the point that at an early age, I set up a goal and I found a way to facilitate most of those goals. It's success is not this mystical, magical, mythical beast that many people wanted to make it out like, like the Yeti or Bigfoot. No, I'll break it down for you. Success is finding something to do, sticking with it no matter what, and when you fall, get up again. That's success. I mean, it's not sexy, it's not the secret recipe, it's not magic jelly beans. It's just sticking with something until it reaches fruition, whether that is a month or a decade. That's success. It's not that hard. So when you're being real with yourself, you have to understand if it's a dream or a whim. Because if it's a whim, you're not going to get enough emotional energy to keep you going. Everyone that I know that has a company that's successful has gone through an incredibly hard period of crazy stuff, hardship, trying times. Everyone, something. And if you are just in that whim mode, when that stuff happens, you're out. You're just like a common place with this. Relationships. I dated a lot when I was younger. Friends were like, hey, you need to find a good girl. And see, I also understand something in 2013. My value systems have been radically different from most people most of my life. And I didn't know it. And that's why I was always the odd duck. Because this is the thing. And I will tell you this from experience. If you date a lot and learn from your mistakes, you're going to become very good at dating. We live in a culture that preaches that you're going to find this one person, the one, which I don't believe in. I think that as you develop yourself, as you evolve, you'll find several people who are more suited for you. The better, essentially, the better person you become, the better people that will come into your life. But that's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. There is only this one shot, this one chance, and life isn't like that. So understand there's a lot of things of Western value systems that will limit you because you're trying to shoehorn your desires and wishes into a box that big. And your desires and wishes may be like this. They may be huge, and you can't shoehorn them in those small, limited values. So another thing with how to chase your dream, you have to sell out. And selling out is, if you play football, you know about this. Third quarter, fourth quarter, you're on defense. Defense expends way more energy than the offense. And those guys have been wearing on you, and you know you got to dig deep. Your lungs are on fire. They are on fire. Your body hurts. You are damn near dehydrated. And the only thing that's separating you from collapsing is your mentality. Then after the game's over, you just fall out. But when you hit that spot, that's when you find out if you want it or not. It's very easy to sit down and go, hey, I want to do X, Y, and Z. It's very easy to sit in your easy chair and say that. The hard part comes in the doing and the persistence and the tenacity. Because all of us talk this stuff about, hey, we want to be successful. But when you look into the book of accountability and you see there's no dividends paid, you get no dividends back. You get none. And your dreams are your dreams. I have researched in the last 4 years that people have made six-figure incomes from scrapbooking to freaking t-shirts. It's there. The money is out there. It is everywhere. Money's everywhere. In my video, it is literally everywhere. The problem is going back to value systems, and value systems are very, very important here. If you have a value system that says you must suffer hardship, that you must go through trials and tribulations before you're truly successful, and you never go through those things, you'll never truly be successful. That's why people who have sudden success sometimes lose it, because that success came outside of their core values, and it created a problem. It was like bad software messing up the hardware. You know, and you see this with people who have to define how they're going to be successful. I call them drill sergeant success people. The success must come on Wednesday. It must knock on the door 2 times. It must wipe his feet before it comes into the house. Once it's in the house, it must go to the dining room table and take a seat. And if any of these steps are missed or out of order, oh, everything's messed up. Everything's messed up. It didn't happen as it was outlet, you know, as it was put out in their mind. So therefore, it wasn't the true success that they wanted. And they throw it away. I know it sounds silly saying that. I've seen it so many times. I've seen it ridiculous amount of times. So if you want to chase your dreams, you have to define them and quantify them and give them weight, purpose, and desire. What I mean by that is, it's Friday night. You get that phone call. Hey, we're about to go to the bar and have some beers. You're right in the middle of working on your business plan, or you're working on a module, or you're doing a video. You're doing something that's in line with your vision. Many people will go, well, I'm kind of doing something. And there's another group of people that will be shoehorned into it or bullied into going out. It's like, come on, you never hang with us. You know, you're doing all that stuff about your dream. I mean, really, are you the same dude that we used to I mean, what's going on, man? You know, you don't care about your friends anymore? And then they're like, okay, so they put down what they're doing. And they go out and hang with their friends. And this goes on for a period of time. And this goes on for years. And next thing you know, that dream is on the shelf. It's dusty. And they look at it and they wonder what happened. You have to say, hey, Bill, Ted, Fred, whoever, look, I'm working on my dream. I'll get with you guys later. And if that decision means that at some point that Bill, Ted, whoever says, hey, we don't want to be friends with you anymore because you don't hang out, see you. Because when you work on your dreams and you're true about it, new people will come into your life. Better people will come into your life. More appropriate people will come into your life. I talked about this before. One of the hardest problems people have is leaving their tribe. If your tribe is a bunch of bricklayers, it's going to be hard for you to go hang out with bankers. You might be able to do it, but at your core, at your heart, you're a bricklayer and you're proud of that. And for you to make that emotional transformational shift, you feel like that you're selling out or you're ashamed of what you do. No, you're growing. You're moving on. There's nothing wrong with saying, look, you know, hey, I came from the tribe of bricklayers, but you know what? This tribe of bankers or this tribe of engineers or this tribe, I'm going over there. And this is the thing. People who love you in the tribe of bricklayers will support you and be proud of you and happy. People who are in the tribe of bricklayers who are afraid, who wake up with that ugly feeling in their stomach every Monday because they don't want to go to work, because they haven't had any fulfillment or joy in so long they don't even know what it tastes like, they will hate you. Because what you're doing, you're holding that mirror. You're like, this is what a person who's chasing their dreams does. And they're not doing it. You're providing that context. They're comparing and contrasting. And they don't like what they're feeling, which is regret, shame, angst, and anger. And that will be directed at you, my friend. Little side comments, little jabs, these things. And this is what I'm talking about, owning your dream, putting in your dues. If your dream is important to you, you're going to suffer all of those slings and arrows. You're going to deal with it. You're going to deal with it. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy. I'm not going to say that some of it's not going to hurt you. But once again, if you're selling out to your dream, that's the most important thing. And in the beginning, if you've never done anything like this, it's going to be very, very rocky. Everyone's going to talk about you. Your mom's like, hey, you don't come around. You're going to hear all of this stuff. And these are what I call the agents. You know, I did a video I was talking about the agents that pop up in your life, just like in the Matrix, and they just like trying to shoot your dream down. The agent in your life could be your mother. It could be your wife, your girlfriend. Because people are very uncomfortable with personal change. They're even more uncomfortable with people in their life that they care about who change. It creates a problem. And you'll have these people and they'll be pulling on you. They're just trying to pull you back to where you were, a place you don't want to be. You're trying to leave that spot and they'll just keep pulling on you and just keep pulling on you. This is where I'm talking about coming in and selling out to your dream. You have, like me, when I'm working on a project, I don't answer the phone. I may not get back to you for 2 or 3 days because unless you leave me a text saying, hey, 911, this emergency, I'm going to assume all is well in your life. Because I learned you will not get anything done every time that phone rings. Like, I turn the Facebook app off of my phone. I have to sit at one of my computers to look at Facebook because it was creating workflow problems because I'm driving Facebook. Because the thing is, it's a natural tendency. You know, you get the alert and you look at it. And I was like, wait a minute, this is a problem. I don't need to be investing my energy here. So I turned the app off. Really don't spend a lot of time on Facebook unless it's required. And I became more productive. See, this is selling out to your dream. Making decisions that will support your dream. Let's talk about balance. And this is one of the biggest myths in the planet. Work-life balance. Were you chasing a dream or building a company? There is no work-life balance. That's some bullshit. You cannot give all of you to build this company and, okay, I'm going to not work this time. I'm going home and be with little Johnny or little Jill. You can't be a slave to two masters. It's not going to happen. And if you're in the building business that's extremely competitive, chances are you're going to put in an insane maniacal amount of hours. It's just how it is. I mean, there are a lot of people who are married who become entrepreneurs and their family literally will not see them Monday through Friday. And when they see them Friday, they're distracted because they're like, there's always so much to do. And this is the price that you pay for chasing your dream. The same things apply whether you're trying to become a musician, you're trying a writer, anything. And we're filled with all these promises online of, hey, you can make a lot of money and you don't have to work that hard. You don't have to spend that much time. I'm not going to say his name, but there's this one person that purposely makes, like $500,000 a year, and they only work like what? Maybe 10 hours a week. There's more to that. Because if that's true, and I can't say if it's true or not true, because when I hear something like that, based on myopic as it may be, my experiences with building businesses, I'm like, A, they work way harder than that to get to that point, and they're not telling people about that because that sells the package. Then B, if you're doing that, why are you selling your information? I look at it totally different because when I built my storage auction business, 60, 70, 8-hour weeks. It was that's just what it took to keep that thing going and growing. I think at some point, with the information I have now, that I could have hired someone to run certain aspects, but I wasn't at that point at that time. And you have to understand, you have to make a decision. This is one of the most crucial aspects of chasing a dream, making that decision. I am going to do this. That's the decision. I am going to do this. Not, I'm going to try. Not, well, we'll see what happens and see what works. That's namby-pamby, wimpy talk. I am going to do this. Another thing with chasing a dream. People are looking for what I call the pursuit of perfection. Going back to drill sergeant, dream perfectionist. It has to be this way at this time. Your dream may get covered in mud, may have a hurricane go across it, and with all of that, it may give you the result that you want, but people become distracted by the mud and the hurricane. I've become very results oriented in the last 2 years. I've always been results oriented, but even more so. And it's getting more and more that way each day because if I get the results that I want, I'm not killing anybody, I'm not doing anything unethical, I'm not doing anything nuts, I'm cool with it. I've kind of like learned to let things come to me in a deal. Like if I wanted to get, say, $1 million and I wanted to do it through publishing, but during the chase of making that $1 million in publishing, another opportunity popped up that was still in line with the vision. It was just a different form of the vision. I would jump on it. 10 years ago, I would have been like, no, that's not. I was kind of like that drill sergeant person. It has to be this way. No. And that's what allowed me, when I was, the name of the company originally was Conundrum Publishing. Now it's Conundrum Media. Because I was like, I'm going to do books. I'm going to do books. And really, I have been putting out media in written video form since 2009. So it really makes more sense to do Conundrum Media than Conundrum Publishing. But that's going from data, and that's looking at the results and making that shift, because the vision was to communicate with people and to help people. Conundrum Media does that even better than Conundrum Publishing. That's what I'm talking about. Your dream may shift, but you're still on the same path. And that shift causes people angst, and like people just get it's like, I don't know. Like a runaway scared slave. I just don't know about that shift. And they get totally knocked out of whack. So you've got to stand up and make that decision. And another part about owning your dream is it's your dream. It's not your mama's dream. It's not your daddy's dream. It's not your wife's dream. It's your dream. And when you treat your dream with a high level of ownership, it will command respect from those around you. If you treat your dream as everyone else should like it, everyone else should jump on board, all you're going to do is create division in the ranks. People are not going to be happy with you because it's like, dude, that's your thing. Now, if you become successful, they may adopt it or want a piece or a taste of it. But in the beginning stages, when your dream is just a little infant, like, wah, wah, shaking his little fist, people are like, yeah, that's cute, but they don't want to change that diaper. But then your dream grows up, and your dream's like doing this. It's all big, tall, handsome, and throwing cash at you everywhere. Yeah, everybody wants to hold that dream then. So understand, it's your dream. It's for you. I even recommend for the first few weeks, the first few months, maybe a year, don't tell anybody about your dreams until your dreams get some bone and some teeth, until they're strong to deal with the negative consequences that are coming. Because dream building, dream chasing, dream acquirement causes a lot of negative energy to pop up in your life. Because as you change, you're pushing stuff out of you. And anytime, and I don't know if any of you do colon cleansing or whatever, whenever you do a physical detox or you do a mental detox, there are repercussions. If you've ever done the colon detox, like I'll tell you, and I won't get too deep into it, but I did a detox one time that was so strong that I started getting all of these boils all over my body because I didn't have enough fiber going on. I'm talking not, I'm talking about, it's a tender spot, 6 o'clock in the morning. By 1 p.m., it's a raging inferno with a big ass head on it. This was my body pushing out all that bad stuff because I was doing a very strong detox. When you do the mental detox of chasing your dreams, start replacing mindsets, thought patterns and stuff with new mindsets and thought patterns, you're going to have those similar repercussions because mentally your mind's like, whoa, this is new. And you're going to have some byproducts from that. And that's another thing that throws people. They start to think these things to happen. And some of these byproducts are doubt, fear. I'm talking about crazy fear. Fear that you can't even sleep at night. If you never felt like that before, then I'm here to tell you. It's an experience. It's an experience. But that is one of the byproducts of chasing your dreams. When you do that, and you create that type of energy, you're pushing out the bad stuff. It's going away and it's being replaced by good stuff. And the good stuff will help you chase your dream. And you got to hold, and this is another thing about dreams. I have talked to people many years older than I am. They've had these dreams. They're 60, 70, 80 years. They still think about that dream. All of these years have passed, and they're still thinking about it. They're still going, what if? What if I had tried? Many people were talked out of their dreams. It's like, well, you know, maybe that's for someone else, but not for you. Well, maybe in a few years, perhaps, you know, some point in the future, or they may just outright pull out their dick and piss all over your dreams and laugh hysterically while they're doing it. You want to do that? Yo, Ed, this motherfucker's tripping. I've been through all of that. And also, another very important part of chasing your dreams. It's going to be very lonely. It's going to be very, very lonely for most people. Some people are going to have that life partner or a family member that's just going to shoulder to shoulder, and they're going to do that thing. For you people, you're exceptionally rare and fortunate. You need to kiss their ass, kiss their feet, give them foot massage, do whatever you need to, because that's not the norm. Hate is the norm. Resentment is the norm. And people, and let's talk about that. When I say resentment and hate, it's not always overt. It'll be something like, that's really nice. Maybe you'll actually come through this time. It's not mean, but there is a shank at the end of that statement. That is part of the hate. If you might have that person in your family that just cannot, for the life of them, give anyone a compliment without, once they're walking away, slapping them upside their head. That kind of stuff messes with you. And if it's coming from a person that you respect, someone that you look up to, it has even more impact. So my advice to you is, don't tell those people your dreams. Actually, put them on the outer peripheral of your life, because this is another part about owning your dream, making these tough decisions. Do I keep the peace with family and put up with this stuff and have my inner confidence eroded, the fuel tank that I need to chase my dream depleted on emotional bullshit? Or do I separate myself from this person? And if you come from a family where everyone's super tight and they have this mantra, it's family, no matter what. So if Billy is on the kitchen table smoking crack, hey, it's family. If Billy set the house on fire, it's family. We're going to forgive him. If Billy went out and killed 18 people, hey, it's family. Don't give him the death penalty. I don't have those value systems. I'm like, if you're a fucked up person, you're a fucked up person, family or not. That's me. A lot of people disagree with me because I look at family like this. I think it's incumbent upon me to do everything I can to make my family proud versus sucking them dry. And a lot of people suck their family dry because they're irresponsible and they don't have to be accountable because they're family, and someone always comes and saves the day because they're family. So you have to understand, when you are really examining how to chase your dream, when you're looking at all of the aspects, when you're looking at, am I going to do this? And replace that phrase with, I am going to do this, no matter what. If I fail, I fail. If I win, I win. I am moving forward. For a lot of people, that's a scary thing to say because it brings an incredible amount of accountability. There is no, well, it's like, I said that. I need to do it. I need to make it happen. And the thing is, what you will find if you do this and you go past that tornado of turmoil that's coming. I'm not going to say, oh, no, it's not good. It's coming. If you make a 180-degree radical shift from the way that you normally live your life, the tornado is coming. So instead of going, I hope it doesn't come, prepare for it. I'll give you an example. When I went out to the storage auctions and started buying, in the beginning, I used to pray that the folks with the money wouldn't come. There was this one guy, Sam Yang. I just started cussing soon as I saw, because I knew, regardless of what happened, if there was a good unit, he was going to bid on it, and he was going to bid high. Didn't matter who it was, he was going to do it. And I just like, God, I hate this guy. I wish he would not come. Then one day, it was a U-Haul auction. I had $2,500, and I had reached that point where I was sick of it. I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. You know what? He's going to start paying a lot for units. He's going to start. I just had that determination that just like, fuck this shit. I am sick of him. It was a nice unit. I bid him to the 20. I had 2,500, and he got it for 2,550. And then another unit, good one. He got that one for 1,700. Then another unit, he got that one for like. And then Dale Elsie, the auctioneer, he even told me, he said, God, you're the only one of the band that gets him. You know, thank God. I made Dale a lot of money that weekend. And the next weekend I saw him, did he bow down? No, that was just one. Anyone can do that for one day. Then I was determined. I was like, in my mind, it's like, he's going to keep bidding. I might not get a unit, but he's going to spend a lot of money. So it became like, fuck him. And I kept doing it, and I kept doing it. And this went on for months. This was not an overnight process. This wasn't like, you know, a one-off. And then we were at U-Haul property up in Kennesaw. Nice room. Really nice room, 10 by 15. Very clean, a lot of nice stuff. And I'm just like, I got to the door, and I was like, 500. And I just looked at him. 500, and looked at him, and he walked away. I was stunned. Dale was stunned. Everyone was stunned. And Dale was like this room normally would have cost me $1,500 with him there, $800 with anyone else there, $1,500, maybe $2,000. He walked away. We went upstairs. There was another room. I bid on it. He walked away. And then after the auction, he says, you cost me lots of money. We work together. What? I never, ever thought I would hear those words come out of his mouth. Ever. And then a few months later, he had retired. So I don't know if I caught him on the downside or whatever. But I was just like, I got 3 units. And that's the tenacity. That is the only, that is the, I was prepared to lose a lot of money. I mentally said, what's the worst thing that can happen? I'll have to pay $2,500 for this unit, or I have to pay $1,700 for this unit. This unit may not pan out. I may lose my ass. But after dealing with him and other people, I started doing the same thing to other people. And guess what? Everyone will soften up with 1,000 body blows. You may not hit them on that chin, but you keep punching someone on the side, it gets tender. You used to see this during the classic boxing matches. People that, you know, that were technicians, they worked that body. About the 6th round, even before the blow comes, they're doing that. Then they start working the other side. Then next thing you know, they're dropping their hands. Boom! And they're out. But it takes a strong mind and determination to keep throwing those body blows, because understand, while you're putting those body blows, they're coming back. You taking licks too. And that's the thing. Like, this went on with me and Sam for months. This wasn't like overnight. But, and that's success. You keep hitting. You keep hitting. You keep hitting. Then you break through. That's how you chase a dream. You don't stop. People will call you insane. They will call you crazy. They will talk about you. And those same people will be your best friend, your BFF, when you're successful. They'll want to talk to you. They want to pick your brain. They'll want to hang out with. They'll want to take you to lunch. The same people that doubted you. And very few will say, you know what, I was wrong about you. Very few. I've had 2 people say that to me. 2 out of I don't know how many that were like, this motherfucker here, he want to do YouTube videos and write books? Didn't you say you were a special ed kid? You got to mentally toughen up. And see, another thing that will happen with this process, you will start to develop some serious self-confidence. I'm talking about insane self-confidence because you're earning it. It's, we live in a culture where people are like, oh, this person's modest. I do not subscribe to the doctrine of modesty. If you did it, you owned it. A lot of people did not like the fact that Deion Primetime Sanders said I'm going to shut down this side of the field, and he did it. Oh, he's arrogant. No, he was dropping facts. Deion Sanders changed the game. Teams would not throw to his side of the field. So that left, they could double up on the coverage on this other side because they weren't going to even throw the ball over there. The chances of him getting that ball and returning it for a touchdown were too high. He changed the game. Oh, he's arrogant. He talks too much. Once again, people who are not really successful, who don't have the courage to chase their dreams, are the main ones who are talking that stuff. Because they don't know what it feels like to be able to say something so audacious. Just to do, and to go out and do it. I think his name is Jakeem Noah. We was at the University of Florida. All these other teams were talking smack. And I remember an interview, and it's like, oh, they want some of those gator boards? He just said, be careful what you ask for. You may get it. And they went in and killed that team. People are like, oh, he's cocky. He knew. He knew. So understand, there is a lot of good things that come from chasing your dreams. The question I have for you, are your dreams worth the effort that it will take for you to achieve them? That's it. That's it in a nutshell. Are you willing to put out to get what you want? Are you? Because that's how you chase a dream. You identify it. You go in, you engage in action, and you keep on. And you claim it. You own it. Because otherwise, you'll be like so many people 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, maybe 40 years from now, 50 years from now, sitting back in your easy chair, looking at that shelf, looking at that dusty dream, going, what if? What if I tried? What if I dared to dream this? What if I woulda, coulda, shoulda? Do you want that to be you? Seriously. Because I used to work in the hospital. I used to talk to old people. I heard this a lot. And it helped me define one of my personal tenets to my philosophy, which is, I'd rather be an asshole. I'd rather fail than to linger and live in regret for things that I didn't even attempt. I would rather make a video where you're saying, Glendon, that's fucked up. It was stupid. It was dumb. It goes nowhere. Fine. Okay, I had this concept. I tried it. Didn't work. Okay, on to the next one. Versus spending hours, days, months, or years thinking about doing the video. I'm going to learn more from fucking up than over planning. This is it. This is it. So hopefully you got some out of this video. If you feel the need to disagree with me, as long as you do so respectfully, I'll leave your comments. You know, if you're an asshole, I'm blocking and deleting you because we don't deal with zombies and nameless cowards.